If there's something mirroring the sport utility vehicle in e-bike kingdom, it has to be this fat tire behemoth. So when the Lankeleisi MG740 Plus arrived, I was eager and super stoked to get it out on dirt and see if it performed. Right, so obviously we're going to have to start with the motors here because a dual-drive e-bike is about as rare as a unicorn. You just don't see them very often. The MG740 Plus has a 1,000-watt hub motor in the rear wheel and a 1,000-watt hub motor in the front wheel, which can bring this monstrous e-bike up to a max speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which you can reach using the throttle or the cadence-sensing pedal assist. When both these motors are engaged and you hit the throttle, the bike offers extraordinary power and responsiveness, notably with a torque of 90 Newton meters, which provides enormous sensations in terms of acceleration. When it comes to conquering the hills and slogging through deep mud, snow, or sand, it's going to be hard to beat this e-bike. If you want a milder ride, you can disengage either the front or rear motors, and honestly, single drive, this is the way the MG740 Plus should be ridden most of the time. There are other reasons to use the dual drive conservatively as well. First of all, it's hard to control the bike with 2,000 watts of power coursing through the e-bike. Secondly, it devours the battery. Out of the box, the bike is limited to 25 kilometers an hour, but you can unlock it quite easily using the controller on the left of the handlebars. With both engines engaged and the assistance level at maximum, coupled with the 7-speed Shimano rear derailleur operated by push-button shifter on the right handlebar, you can easily exceed 45 kilometers an hour. However, since the MG740 Plus features a 1x crankset, it's difficult to pedal faster than about 30 kilometers an hour, unless you enjoy making eggs. This means that if you unlock the top speed, you'll only be able to use the dual motors to keep you going at high speeds. And again, this will seriously eat away at your battery life. There are 5 levels of assist and a no-assist option that keeps the e-bike system online and tracking distance if you decide you want a serious workout by just using pedal power. And instead of a thumb throttle, the MG740 Plus has a twist grip on the inside of the right handlebar like a motorcycle. The grip is progressive, so you can precisely add any amount of power to the motor. Now let's talk about the battery system on the MG740 Plus, because it too is totally awesome. For the ability to power 2,000-watt Lankeleisi, turn to Samsung for a lithium battery. This massive 48-volt, 20-amp-hour Samsung battery sits on the down tube, as it's much too large to be incorporated into a frame battery. Lankeleisi advertises the MG740 Plus e-bike's range to be almost 80 miles, or 130 kilometers to be exact. Now, as we state in all of our reviews, your mileage may vary as this number depends on a lot of factors, including what level of pedal assist you use the most. I will tell you right now, though, that these motors are starving, power-hungry little monsters that'll happily chip away at your charge. Of course, that's the cost of being able to climb unthinkable grades, power through deep mud, and tow heavy loads. The MG740 Plus is a large, heavy bike as befits its mission to basically be a force of nature when ridden. The 75-pound bike's sloping hardtail frame, built from 6061 aluminum, is both robust and aesthetically pleasing. It feels like a go-anywhere, do-anything type of e-bike, and it turns heads wherever you go, partly because of the road noise these tires make. The handlebar can be adjusted for height, allowing for different riding positions. The color LCD display is plenty large and mostly easy to read. There's a battery charge indicator bar at the top of the display, as well as a large display for current speed. The 5-button control pod for turning on the power, adjusting assist levels, and toggling display options is on the left bar and features an integrated electronic bike bell. The massive 26-inch wheels with 4-inch wide tires make the bike comfortable over bumps and uneven terrain, and you'll have no issues finding grip on even the muddiest, graveliest terrain imaginable. It is huge and feels a bit like riding a tank, which is honestly one of my favorite things about it. Once on the road, the weight is no longer felt thanks to the power of the engines. The combination of fat tires, a very comfortable saddle, and front suspension absorbs most of the road irregularities, and the bike is very easy to control. Keeping the fork locked out isn't as comfortable, but it makes the handling more consistent. The hydraulic disc brakes are an excellent choice. The MG740 Plus comes with high-end 2-piston hydraulic brakes with 160mm rotors. These are your standard high-performance mountain bike brakes. They're incredibly responsive and come with an automatic shut-off system that'll turn off the motor the moment you press the brake lever. On top of all that, they're pretty easy to maintain. Just clean the discs every once in a while and you're golden. Now, being a heavier e-bike when going uphill, you need to plan your gearing accordingly, just like you would on an XC bike or even downhill bill for a climb. When done correctly, combined with the power of the bike's front and rear motor, you get a nice propel of assistance going uphill and the ability to use the right-hand twist throttle for additional power. On the downhill riding is where you start to notice the bike's overall weight and momentum that the MG740 Plus quickly builds. You'll most likely be on the brakes the majority of the time, as it takes a little bit longer to slow down a bike with so much weight on downhill trails. When riding on the street or pavement, the bike acts like a normal e-bike and brakes accordingly. What makes the Lankeleisi MG740 Plus a remarkable e-bike is its versatility. You could commute to work on this e-bike and never take it off-road and never have the sense that you're missing out on anything or that you had an e-bike that wasn't suited to commuting. Or you could spend all your riding time on dirt roads and natural surface trails and be satisfied with its ability to take on challenging terrain. Does it display some new advanced design? New technologies? Not really, no. But tons of attitude? That it has in abundance. The MG740 Plus is one big fun machine that dares you to question what an electric bicycle can be and what it can do.